All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Broker to Broker podcast. I'm your host, Marc Summers, founding president of AIME. So glad to have a second repeat guest back. He's a fun person. If you listen to his first one, lots of insight. But today we have an exciting episode for everyone. We got Brian Sweeney from Scoop Mortgage. Brian, thanks for joining us today.
Happy to be here, Mark. Happy to be here, man.
All right. Well, what have you been up to since the last time we spoke? What are you seeing in your area? What's going on with you?
Man, what haven't we been up to? I feel like there's been a lot that's happened since last year, mainly interest rates. But there's been a lot of inventory on the market, just kind of trying to change gears a little bit. I think here at our firm, we started to get into a lot more of the investment side of things. So not just, primary residence, FHA, conventional type stuff, but more of the DSCR investment type loans. And so that's kind of weathered the storm, so to speak, through the higher interest rates. But yeah, there's a lot of moving parts out there in the economic environment. So just trying to stay focused.
Navigate your way through it. Yeah. I didn't realize how big that DSCR program is. There's a local person here. They said they've closed like 200 and some of them this year alone. I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I need to interview them then for sure, because that's amazing. But yeah, I mean, the thing about investors, right, is that they don't usually stop. It's kind of like an addiction. Once they get into it, then it's like you want more. You want to buy more properties. You want to get more cash flow. And so if you can get those relationships and you can build that trust and have those good clients, then that's a recurring revenue source for brokers. So I think that's the big misconception there is like, yeah, you'll have a home buyer and maybe they refer someone, but the investment piece is almost like building a recurring revenue model. There's not too many investors out there in the DSCR world for the loan side that are just like, I'm going to buy one rental and then that's it. I'm done, for the rest of my life. Usually they're trying to build up a portfolio of properties. And if you can be that go-to broker, go-to loan advisor, then, I mean, you can make a whole career behind it. It sounds like that's what that person did that or is doing that, So yeah, I mean, that whole investment realm, but it's not just DSCR. I mean, there's ground up construction, there's rehab loans. Like there's a whole set of loans around that investment world, right? It's not just the DSCR loan.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let me ask you a question here. So if you're kind of getting a little bit big into that, which good for you, how do you like cultivate those relationships?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's meeting a lot of the investors personally, right? So I think social media plays a big role because if you show some of the people that maybe follow you, hey, we did this loan for this person and they're flipping a property and they're doing a short-term loan for this flip property, or they're doing a DSCR for this rental and it's a duplex and they're going to make $1,100 a month in cash flow. It's almost like proof is in the pudding, and it's social proof. And so when the marketplace sees that you're helping other investors know other investors. And so that kind of grows like a wildfire in a sense. As long as you're good at what you do, then that can be extremely beneficial. If you're not good at what you do, it also grows like a wildfire, but you have to put it out. And so, I think just cultivating the investor relationships, whether it's just like calling up an investor. And the thing is there are a lot of people that do these types of loans. So I wouldn't say the competition's lower. It's just there's a lot of people that are investors out there across the country. And so I think that the pool of recurring revenue is available for the taking.
Well, heck yeah. I mean, there's a lot of business out there. I mean, it's just what I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years is that it's just different types of business. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like during that pandemic, like you could just pick up your phone and get a refi. You know what I mean? And that's what everyone hung their hats on. But now it's different. It's really diving into these files. It's really going out there and searching for them. But at the same time, when you get them, I mean, we are taking care of these clients so well. I mean, just like you, that they refer everyone to us. So when you do this and you've been navigating through the last 4 years and you're very good at what you do, like what do you hang your hat on to say, hey, this is why you come to me?
Well, I think that it's not just me, it's we, because my business partner, Dylan, who we walk the walk too, because we're investors ourselves. And so it's not just like we're out there pitching these investor type loans, like we're using them ourselves. And so there's no better person to explain to you how these things work than the people that are using them. And we use them very often, you know. And so we do several dozen deals ourselves every single year using the same solutions. And so it's very easy to explain and have the confidence and the knowledge behind it to explain to the client. And if you have the confidence and you have the knowledge, then that person's going to trust you a lot faster, as opposed to saying, oh, well, I've never done a DSCR loan, but I'm more than happy, you know, you can be my guinea pig. Like, come on in and let's try it out. You know, they don't want to hear that. They want you to say, yeah, I've done 50 deals before using these solutions. This is your first or second or third or fifth or 10. Great. Well, we've done 50 more than you have. So we can walk you through the process and show you how it works with title and show you how it works with the draws and show you how it works with this and that. And so I think it's just a knowledge base, right?
Yeah,
there's people out there that
absolutely. No, I mean,
FHA and USDA and VA a heck of a lot better than we do. But you know, the investor side, you know, you can only get so many VA loans yourself. You can only get so many conventional loans yourself. And the investor side, there's not really any limits. So I think it's just a whole different animal.
and what I also see as well with those DSCR is that the homes that they are buying, and it could be different in your area, but in my area, the homes they're buying are not what families are looking for. You know what I mean? Like on the convention side,
Yeah,
FHA
exactly,
side.
yeah.
It's more that lower tier, but they know they're going to rent them out to people who can't actually afford a home right now or because of past issues.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's exactly that. I mean, yeah, the price points are going to be lower. But a lot of times it doesn't mean that as the broker, doesn't mean that you're going to make less. It just means that it's a different type of loan, right? And you're still helping that borrower at the end of the day. And yeah, the price point's going to be lower because the investor is exactly that. They're investors. They have to make money. They're not going to go out and buy $1 million properties and expect to rent them out for $1,500 a month and make money. And so they have to find price points that make sense. And there's rate, and that's exactly what the DSCR is. It's the ratio of which you're renting out the property to see if it's going to cover the debt. And so if it makes sense from a lending standpoint, then it's kind of a no-brainer to lend on it. If it doesn't make sense and falls below those certain guidelines, then not only does it not make sense for the lender, it doesn't make sense for the investor.
Right.
So it's kind of you're working on the second side of the table, right?
Yeah, which is common in our industry, but
Yeah.
no, that's a great way of saying it. So when in your area, what are you seeing right now? Like I talk to LOs constantly, you know what I mean? And you know, we teach, we do this, we do that. Where do you see that LOs are missing the boat on this current environment that we're in?
So you just broke up there a little bit at the end. I didn't miss that the last
Oh,
part.
okay. Sorry, internet. But like where do you see right now LOs like missing the boat?
Well, I think, you know, it's hard. It's tough. I mean, depends on where you are. I think you just said that and alluded to that. So for me, I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Our offices are in Columbus and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And so those markets, more so Pittsburgh than Columbus, the DSCR makes a lot more sense. So I think every market is different. The good thing about DSCR loans, there's a lot of wholesale lenders out there where you don't have to be, they can act as correspondents. Like you don't have to be licensed in every single state. You can use their license to do the DSCR. That's why you see a lot of these wholesale lenders out there like, oh, you know, come, you know, partner with us and you'll get access to 44 different states. And so I think you have to find those areas if you're in those areas, which is obviously better. But, you know, if you're in, you know, Riverside, California, or, you know, somewhere that prices are through the roof, Miami, Florida, and you're just not able to get the DSCR investors like they would be in other parts of the country, that's fine. I think right now investors are going outside their state boundaries. They're going outside their local, you know, communities. And so you see a lot of people in the Columbus and the Pittsburgh market, they're actually investors from other states. They're from, you know, Virginia, they're from Texas, they're from California, Arizona, where prices are so high, they can't make the ratios they want. And so they come to these other states and they're looking for local lenders that know the areas. And so I think you have to kind of capitalize on those things. And if you're in the higher areas, then hopefully you're trying to keep those people that are going to other states. Hopefully you can still do the loans for those people, and they're not going local. But I would say as far as missing the boat, I don't even know if there's a boat to even be missed. I just think that there's tons of investors out there, and you just have to kind of see what you're interested in. A lot of people don't even want to work with investors because they don't understand it, and that's fine. Everyone has a different niche, different expertise. Dylan and I are just interested in that realm of things, and so it kind of jives with us.
Well, at the time of this recording right now, we've had a really good, we'll say like week, 10 days of rate drop. You know what I mean? And it's kind of getting everyone amped up a little bit. Some lenders are, releasing some special programs and stuff like UWM, their 90 basis points, all that good stuff. But it's kind of getting people re-energized, and I love it. Where do you guys see Scoot going? Like, what do you and Dylan have planned here for the next, year, 5 years? Where do you guys want to take Scoot Mortgage?
Great question. I mean, personally, I've been focusing more on the investor side, but Dylan's been crushing it on the residential side right now. So it's like, we're kind of like racing down the road on two different paths, which I think is fine because it's only going to make the firm and the practice stronger, longer term. But, I think I resonate a lot with what you said a little bit earlier about, when there's opportunity in the market, when there's change, there's opportunity. Right? Everyone knows that when there's change, there's opportunity. And I think what you said earlier, when rates drop, people are like, oh, let's grab the refi business. I think what I've learned the last 7 or 8 years in this business is that you kind of have to do that. I know a lot of people preach like, I'll just stick with purchase. But I mean, purchase gets you burned out, right?
Yeah.
It just will wear on you long-term. And that's why you don't see people in the industry for 60 years. But, I think you kind of have to just go with those ebbs and flows. And so if investors hitting, you kind of have to be the jack of all trades. And unfortunately, I know what the other part of that saying is that you're end up being the master of none, which I understand that part of it too. But with how the world works and how interest rates work, and there's a lot of things that we can't control. And that's the hardest part as being a business owner is a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, they like to control things. And the biggest part of this business is that you can't control the main thing, which is rates.
Right.
And so you have to go with the punches. And if investors working, go with it. If VA is working, go with it. Right. If refinance is working, go with it. I think you just have to go with whatever's working for you at that point in time. And I think you asked the question earlier, right? It's kind of snowballing. Well, Dylan has just been snowballing on the residential side because he just had a bunch and it just kind of ticked up. On the investor side, it's been snowballing over there for other part of our team. And so whatever works, man. I mean, it's a business. You're not going to turn away revenue because you're like, oh, well, I'm not focused on refi right now. No, you're going to accept the refi and you're going to do it. That's the business is a money driven entity, and you have to feed it.
I absolutely love it. All right, let's change gears here a little bit. Let's talk about Fuse and AIME a little bit here. We spent a lot of time together at Fuse last year. I had an absolute riot, probably a little bit too much fun. Even when I left my phone at a local establishment down the street and I freaked out and couldn't find it. But let me ask you this. You plan on coming to Fuse this year? It's in Nashville. That'd be a riot. So talking about Fuse itself, like what stuck out to you about Fuse last year kind of for this year? Now, you're a veteran.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think honestly, Marc, just not because we're on this podcast today, but I never really got to spend a whole bunch of time with you and your guys, right? And your team. And I think we spent probably 6 or 7 hours that day just hanging out and having some drinks and having a good time and just BSing about the mortgage business and the industry and where it's going and all those things. I think, like, where else are you getting that? Right. And so all the professionals that just come in for the event and the people that you can shake hands with and rub elbows with and just meet and get insights and learn. And it just goes far beyond anything that you could ever do by yourself being alone in your office behind a computer. There's just no comparison. The fact that it's in Nashville just amplifies it even more. And so, yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Nashville? So I just think if you haven't gone, you have to do it at least once. You should do it at least once in your life. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. And if you've already gone, then I think everyone knows why you're going to go again. So,
Yeah, no, the thing I love about Fuse, I mean, you basically stole my thunder there in a good way, which is yes, we have great speakers. I mean, the speakers we have this year are phenomenal. You know, Jonathan and team got their feet wet with their first Fuse, so like he's amped up, ready to go. We got a lot of breakout sessions, but the best thing to me is just like what you said. It's meeting all these people. You would never have met them. I mean, we have something in common. We all do mortgages. You know what I mean? And the conversations, you never know how the conversation is going to start, but I had so many conversations just snowball and take its own course. And next thing you know, it's like 45 minutes later, and we just got so much education from each other. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is you could probably learn more in those 2 days from your peers than you could the whole year by reading, conventional guidelines on ChatGPT for 6 months. But in Nashville, there's no hurricanes.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, that one stung us a little bit last year. But that's the other cool thing about it, like, and just about our industry is, you know, we had to adjust, and I think that's what we do best as brokers and originators is we adjust. We have to, you know what I mean? And we adjusted everything around, and we actually talked at one time about possibly canceling it, and that conversation went right out the window as fast as it came up, and it was like, nope, we're having it, we're doing it, people will show up. And the amount of people that showed up was absolutely phenomenal.
Well, I think that plays into what we were just saying, right? It's the ebbs and flows of the business itself. How many times do you come up against a loan situation and we're like, man, we're not gonna be able to close it. But you figure it out. You get to the end, you get to the closing table. It's the same thing that you just explained there. It's like just your resiliency. And I think the people that go to AIME and the people that are part of the group and the people that want to succeed are the people that want to be there.
Absolutely. Have you looked at anything? Are you looking forward to anything for this Fuse coming up?
I think you already know that I'm excited it's in Nashville. So, besides that, it'll be nice to get in front of all the people that we know and all the people that we get to see once a year at AIME. So excited for that.
All right. Well, let's talk about AIME a little bit here. What, I mean, I know you're on Brokers Are Best. You're pretty active. What's your favorite thing that AIME does? Like when you think about AIME, what do you think about?
I think about AIME as almost like a back office support, right? Someone that's in your corner, because you have, unfortunately, the world that we live in now is that all these firms out there, all these companies out there, the wholesale companies, and there's a lot that do very good things for all of us brokers, and there's some that don't. But a lot of times you're signing contracts with these people, and right, you don't know if that contract's in your favor or not in your favor unless you have your attorney look over it. I think AIME is in our corner, right? And I think having a company like that in our corner that's for us day in and day out is why I know that if I come across something I have questions on, or if I come across an issue, or whatever happens with a particular loan or underwriting, whatever it may be, I know that I can reach out to AIME and get help. I think that is, if you're a solar practitioner, like having a team of people like that is extremely powerful. If you're an even bigger group and you need even a bigger presence, that makes a lot of sense. So I think AIME, when I truly just think about, when you just say that question, I think it's like, oh, that's my back office support. If I need them, I know they're in my corner.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah. And that's what we always say. We're going to go to battle for you. I mean, and just like even our escalation piece that we have, people are like, I don't understand it. Tell me what you're doing. And it's just like, it's more force, it's more power behind what you need to get done. When you have an association of however many we have, which is a lot, and it's going through, these lenders want to work for us. You know what I mean? They want to get it done right. And to have someone like AIME and, the entire team behind you, that's what it's about, and bringing the community together and moving everything forward.
Exactly.
Okay. So I know you're on a hard stop here soon, and I do appreciate your time. And I know we kicked off a little late because of me and my internet issues, but at the same time, let's say you're sitting on the stage of Fuse. You have 1 to 2 minutes to give advice to brokers, right? Like it's the Brian Sweeney show, and you get up there, you have the mic, you're about to go, and you can give advice to 2,000, 3,000, however many people we're going to have there, brokers that are just looking straight at you. What are you going to tell them?
I think you asked me this question on podcast 1, and I think I'm going to give the same answer, right?
Give it to me. I love it. I love it when things don't change.
The answer for me is always knowledge. The more you know, the more you can grow. And it's not something I made up. That's something that I think Warren Buffett said. And so it's like, you have to just learn more, because when you learn more, you have confidence. That's why people that get into the business, even if you're really good at sales, if you just start in the business, you probably don't get a ton of business right away, because you don't know as much as the people that have been experienced and that can answer all those intricate questions. And there's so many nuances that come with the mortgage business. It's not like it's a one size fits all shoe. You're dealing with banks and credit unions and brokers and correspondents and like there's so many different parts of that whole realm of how mortgages work. And the unique thing about it is most people can't just go out and get a mortgage themselves. So they have to use someone. And so that is a barrier to entry for the consumer, which is a good thing for brokers. It's a good thing for loan officers. But knowledge is the key component of all that. If you went to your doctor and said, hey, I have to get surgery, and the doctor said, well, I don't really know much about it, but we got you scheduled for next week. You're like, what? What do you mean? I thought you were a doctor. It's the same thing in the mortgage business, in the broker world. And so you have to learn, you have to know, you have to have confidence, because when you know things, you portray that to the consumer, you portray that to your end user, and you portray that to your peers too. And because you want someone to say, oh yeah, go talk to Mark up in Michigan. Like, he knows what the hell he's doing. Okay. Go talk to Brian. And so your peers start to recognize, oh, this guy knows his stuff. This guy's well-versed. This guy's an expert. This person has knowledge and confidence to get the deal done. And so I think that's the power of any professional services, whether you're an attorney, a financial advisor, a CPA, a mortgage broker, right? Any of the professional services businesses, the more you know, the more you will grow. It's pretty much guaranteed.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Sorry, I asked you that question again. Thanks for calling me out on that, but no, it's good. Because I love hearing what people are going to have to say. And even if it was the same answer, I mean, things change, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you might have had a different answer, but the fact that you're relying on knowledge, I mean, it's perfect. I mean, perfect example is my kid. He's a college pitcher, and he blew out his arm. So he had Tommy John, and we went to a few different doctors, and then we went to the University of Michigan baseball doctor, because he does them all the time, and he's known as the best, not just because he does it, you know? So it's like, oh yeah, we want to go to the guy who's going to get it done the best. Exactly. And it's the same exact concept. So, hey, Brian, hey, listen, I appreciate your time today, man. You know, you're the man. We're going to have a lot of fun in Nashville. Maybe what I do is, I think I'm driving down there. Maybe I'll just swing through Columbus and pick you up.
That sounds good. So, I'm here. I'm ready.
Tell Dylan he better get his butt there too. And hey, once again, man, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark. We'll talk soon, man.
All right, brokers, if you want to catch up on all of our past podcast episodes, as well as other AIME Network podcasts, please head over to aimegroup.com/broker to broker. You can also listen and watch all AIME Network podcasts. We have a specific channel for this on YouTube. The handle's at AIME National. You can get everything there. But do me a favor, leave a review, download the podcast. It helps us spread the word that brokers are best. And Brian, you're one of them. And thanks again for your time, my man.
Thanks, Mark.